Hi everyone, I'm Dee, author of the Consumed by Heat series and one half of D&J.
And I'm Jay, the other half of D&J.
Today we'll be discussing Wicked Bedmate by Jenika Snow and Hero Club. Now, the book basically follows Linda. We start by seeing her getting fired from her job and humiliated. Then we follow her journey towards getting another one. Her best friend sets her up on a blind date, and the blind date turns out to be uber sexy. And one thing leads to another, a drink leads to another, and she ends up drunk, waking up in his bed the next day. Now, we follow her to an interview, the interview that could change her life. And the person that is interviewing her is none other than Mr. Sexy Blind Date from the night before. In a nutshell, that's the book. Now, Jay, what did you think of it?
Boy, what did I think of the book? I could have lived my time, basically doing without the book. It sounds a bit harsh, but it wasn't my top favorite book. And yeah, that's basically it in a nutshell. It wasn't really my favorite. There was a lot of, I have a lot of negative, not a lot of positive.
Wow, for once, we actually agree. This book was just okay for me. I have a lot of issues with it, but there's no way for me to dive into my issues totally without actually revealing some spoilers. So, this is our spoiler alert. The video going forward will have spoilers in it, so if you have not yet read the book, go ahead and grab a link down below, read it, and then come back and join us. Again, this is your spoiler alert. Spoilers are ahead. Warning. All right. Bye. We'll talk to you again in the next one. Let's continue. This book. This book. I don't know. It was such a disappointment, and I feel so bad because it's our second book we're reviewing, and again, I'm disappointed. I think I'm just not going to read any more short books. Maybe it's just the length. I don't know. I'm trying to find an excuse for them, but I just felt there was no character development. We got a lot of scenes that we could have done without. Okay, she got fired. That scene, the opening scene, was okay. It was impactful. I felt that every other scene following that, leading up to the when she actually met the guy, could have been omitted. We didn't need to follow her going on two separate interviews. We didn't need to see that. I felt like that could have been said in one sentence and it would have been done. The story could have moved on and we could have gotten to know her better or get an opportunity to get connected to her better. We didn't. I just felt like there were certain points of the book that were pointless, and then, oh my goodness, then came the sex scenes. They were so cringe. I don't know. I don't know if it was the narrator. I don't know if it was the way they were written. Again, this is only available on Audible, guys. So we listened to the audiobook and it was cringe. I don't know. But I just couldn't do it. I found myself laughing at one point, and it wasn't even funny. I was just like, really, what's going on here? The volume got higher, and it was just awkward to me. And I was like, okay, all right, maybe it'll get better.
It
It's
didn't.
it's I don't know. I don't know. I just couldn't get into this. What do you think, babe?
Yeah, it's basically the same. There were a lot of things. But what I could say, right? The best thing that she could have done is I could have done without the boss that fired her. That scene made no sense. You're not capitalizing on something good. I thought that he knows if you're bringing in the boss that fired her, then I'm going to be seeing this boss later on to actually fix some form of problem or see what's the real reason for being fired because the way how she stated that she was being fired made no sense. So I was hoping that there would have been a little bit of a comeback there. There wasn't. There's a lot of things that needed to be done with this book to make it a little bit better. Overall, I don't it had the I won't even say it had the potential.
It did. I
It's
think
it's
so.
not it's
Could
not
have.
even there yet. The potential is not there. Right now, I'll just say this, right, to make the book a little bit better. There were some scenes that definitely weren't needed. I think to make the book a little bit better, even though we were listening to it, this is an audible book. I think it could have been done without the guy. There was, well, not the guy, but I would say it would have been better if it was done without the male perspective, because that didn't add on to anything. It felt it. I mean, if I'm going to go on to performance, both of those narrators were
I,
trying their
I,
best,
I,
but that's
I,
not about them. They did their best, but how it was written, the guy part could is not needed. There's no need for this guy perspective. This guy, this the your male antagonist. I would like, that's the word, right?
no,
Uh,
he wasn't the villain.
oh, sorry. Um, damn.
He was still he was the protagonist as well. They were both
Right. The
like hero
male.
one, hero two. Yeah, I agree with you actually. This is so weird. We're actually agreeing on a book.
I don't think there's nothing wrong.
Wow. It just hardly ever happens.
Man, I was telling you, I was ready to DNF, and I don't normally DNF books.
Uh,
But that was like, I'm not going to lie. I'm not the type of person that's going to, well, not everybody's going to know what DNF means. DNF means, for some viewers, for you guys that don't understand, is do not continue, do not
yeah,
finish.
didn't finish.
Didn't finish.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, I just felt like she started out wanting to have Morgan, the first boss, the asshole, as a love interest, and then changed her mind in between, and then wanted to get more words in the manuscript. So she added Jason. It just felt like an afterthought to me. It was like, wait, that wasn't the direction she was going. It doesn't read that way, and if it was, it's surprising because it doesn't read that way.
I would say this, right? If it's a way that she was going in another direction, obviously I thought that way, you thought that way, then more than likely that's what happened.
But
it
we don't know. We're not saying that's how it reads.
it speculates that it is. There were some stuff, the man point of view, boring as hell. I'm not going to go around.
For me, he just felt weird. He at one
Out
point,
of place.
yeah, it's like he didn't belong in the book. He felt weird to me. He's supposed to be the sophisticated CFO. Yet still at one moment he's trying to sound smart. The other minute he sounds like he has this big potty mouth. It just, I don't know. He was like, he didn't have a set personality to me. He was just thrown in and he didn't fit. He was mismatched.
You know what I think is the guy, to me, just thinking about it now, the guy sounds to me like Kristen Grey from 50 Shades, where
Does he?
he sounds all possessive. You're mine. I mean, I get that some guys are like that, but come on. Never thought?
I tried to avoid that little part because, as I said, to me the sex scenes were cringe. So
It was
I
funny.
tried to avoid that little part. And then in the epilogue I was so confused. I didn't know who the people were. Who were they that were having babies? I didn't understand.
It's so basically it was his ex. Cause
That was the ex. I thought, I was like, that couldn't be the ex. How would that make sense? Why would they be? I was just so confused by the end.
that last part was definitely confused. I'm like,
And then I tried to give it a pass because I wasn't sure if it was like a part like the Hero Club novels, because this is our first Hero Club novel. So I'm not sure if they're like they have some connections in some way. So maybe there was a piece where I'm missing, but nowhere in the description did they say it was a series. And so I don't know if I was missing something. So I tried to give it a pass, but I was so confused. I don't know, but
it's sad.
you know,
I think we've said enough about the book.
yeah, it makes no sense for us to continue beating it down because clearly neither of us liked it.
It's not gonna
So
get any better. I just wish but there are feedback. If the writer is listening to this,
I doubt Jenika is listening to this, but if you are, hey girl, you write good books, but this one girl,
what are you trying to do? You're trying
didn't
to be
mean-
friends, or
No, I'm not trying to be friends or anything. I don't know her personally. I was just saying saying, I've heard good things about her. I was on a live chat just yesterday, and someone was saying, hey, they really, really enjoy her books. And I was saying, well, this is our introduction. So clearly, she must write good books. This one just didn't do it for me. And again, I know not every book will be everyone's taste. So it may just not have been a book for us.
Oh, one more thing I forgot that, remember when the last video you were saying about the journey of the love? That ain't in this.
No, it didn't. It didn't. That's probably
no
why
journey.
I didn't like it either. There wasn't any journey. It tried, but as I said, it's a novella and it was filled with too many unnecessary scenes. Maybe if it was a full-length novel, then it would have had enough time for all of these throwaway scenes and follow the journey, but it didn't. It didn't. And so it was like a one blind date, immediate attraction. She drinking out juice, knowing that she has an interview the next day. Really, so irresponsible.
I didn't.
Waking
like
up.
Part. That was one of the good parts there. She was drinking. Funny.
Waking up in the guy's bed, ending up that the guy.
Assuming that they were doing the dirties.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, really, is this
nice
going to be the misunderstanding that carries the book? Really?
That was a good part.
Well,
hey, we're finding good parts to it. That's great.
Well, in all things you have good and bad. I never said it was complete trash, but
Best friends sound better than everybody combined.
yeah, strange enough, I did. The best friend was the best character in the book for me. I agree with you there. I preferred the best friend over the love interest. It would have been better for me if it was like a best friend to lovers, but he was gay, so it wasn't meant in the stars for them. But hey, we recommend you read it for yourselves, right? For now, let's just get to our star ratings.
Yay.
So Jay, you're going first. How much are you rating Wicked Bedmate?
All right, so I thought about it carefully. I was going to give it a 3, and then I realized, and I was pondering over about all of the books and not wanting to finish it. You know what? I'm just going to take you out to your misery. 2.5.
Okay, all right. I'm in around the same ballpark as you. For me, it's a 2. For all the reasons that we discussed before. As I said, if it was a really, really bad book, I wouldn't have given it a 2 at all. So for me, a 2 is sort of borderline okay. It had minor good points to it, but
many flaws.
Yeah, it had too many flaws for me to be a 3. So it's a 2. All right. So that means 2.5 from you, a 2 from me. So on average, that's a 2.25 from D&J. All right. So, babe, what do we want him to do?
Subscribe and listen to my sexy voice a little bit more, I guess.
Anyways, yes, go ahead. Like, comment, subscribe, and ding that bell for more to be notified when our videos go live. We will be trying to publish 2 to 3 times a week. So, guys, be sure to ring that bell so that you'll be the first to know when our video goes live. All right. Thank you so much for tuning into D&J's Book Chat. And until next time, bye.
Bye.